SCUF's Vantage wireless PS4 controller is possibly the closest thing PlayStation has to the Xbox One's Elite controller. It's a well-made, comfortable controller that delivers some handy customization options you don't get from the standard DualShock 4. It does make me at least feel like I'm performing a little better, but as much as it does right, it misses the mark just as often, and at $200, it's just too expensive for that. The Vantage is roughly as comfortable to hold as a standard DualShock 4, though definitely a little larger and feels familiar aside from the very obvious change of the offset analog sticks that resemble the Xbox One's configuration. It feels good in my hand, especially when combined with analog stick height and contour customization options that let you tune it to your liking for fast-paced genres like first-person shooters. I'm relatively happy with the muted look I settled on, but adding any of the brighter options made it look pretty tacky. I appreciated being able to adjust the triggers to find a sweet spot in how far you have to move them before they're considered fully pulled. While most other customizable parts are magnetized, different triggers need to be awkwardly snapped into place. It feels a bit cheap. Putting new faceplates on is much simpler and nicer though. So is placing new control sticks or removing vibration centers to alter the weight. It's clean and easy to mix and match these parts, and thankfully the process for switching up gameplay capabilities is similarly painless. The SCUF's 4 pedals are located on the bottom of the controller and can be assigned to mirror any other single button press. The process is pretty simple. Flip a switch on the controller, press a paddle and button simultaneously, and then let the button and paddle go, flip the switch back, and you've got yourself an extra way to push that button. I realize that sounds like a lot of steps, but I promise it's relatively easy. It's nice having options from the D-pad so naturally accessible to where my hands rest. I wish the other processes offered some type of feedback though, like a rumble or light flash. The first couple of tries, I had to just hope I did the processes correctly. But the paddle placement is odd. The Xbox One Elite's 4 paddles fan out with 2 on each side, making them naturally easy to access with your fingers. But the SCUF's paddles bizarrely point downward. The 2 outward paddles feel great. They're comfortably contoured to the controller. But the 2 inner paddles have been largely useless because of their placement and how they make me reach for them. I've largely given up on using them because it's just not worth the effort to retrain my brain for such a specific awkward setup. Similarly, the Vantage adds 2 buttons on the side of the controller, S1 and S2, which can also be customized like the paddles. Again, it's great to have more buttons within natural reach. I got used to using them to easily calm my horse in Assassin's Creed, but the catch is that my fingers often rest there, and it's not so nice to accidentally call my horse when I'm furiously tapping R1 during combat. Whether I was playing action games or shooters, I definitely perceived some difference in my response time thanks to the Vantage. Being able to adjust the triggers to overcome a bit of my mental latency, and having a sturdier grip thanks to the textured material on the handles did feel like I was able to land a few hits that I might have missed otherwise. But it's not a dramatic difference. What I can be grateful for is the vastly improved battery life over a traditional DualShock 4. I normally have to charge my controllers after about 6 or 7 hours, but the Vantage lasted 2 full days before the need for a recharge. For PS4 players, especially competitive ones, there's a lot to like about the SCUF Vantage wireless controller. There are some great customization options from the sticks, the D-pad, and the triggers, but almost all of its benefits come with caveats, from awkward placements for the paddles and side buttons to weird color options. And for more casual players, paying the equivalent of 3 DualShocks for 1 moderately improved controller isn't really justified unless you really need improved battery life. The Vantage makes a few good inroads into offering an elite competitor for the PS4, but hasn't made me want to toss my DualShocks in the trash just yet. Of course, there's so much else going on in the world of PlayStation. For weekly updates on everything PlayStation, be sure to tune in to Beyond at beyond.ign.com or youtube.com/IGNBeyond for your weekly dose of PlayStation news. Of course, for everything else PlayStation, you're already in the right place, IGN.